I welcome you in this first webinar, which is being organized by the Never Say Retired group, which is on a mission to harness the energy of senior citizens for nation building. अभी आपको ये भी बताऊं कि ये मिशन है क्या, आखिर में इसकी भी तो जानकारी होनी चाहिए. We have millions of healthy retired persons who have so much of knowledge and experience. This asset of so many Bharatvasis cannot be left untapped. We know that some of the retirees do get jobs or engage themselves in one way or the other, but still most are lost, not knowing what to do. In some cases, they even create domestic or social problems. Some even go into depression. They can be motivated to offer their services to the immediate community they live in, or join an NGO, take jobs, or become consultants. If they can find a purpose of life, if they are recognized, we believe they can do wonders for themselves and for the nation. When these experienced and knowledgeable individuals decide to move forward, the nation benefits, the individual benefits, and the community in which they live benefits. The mission was launched about a year and a half back. We have our own website, neversayRetired.in, wherein we are regularly publishing excellent articles which are exclusive to the senior citizens. There are other sections too, and we are regularly adding content to help the retirees. Very recently, a job section has been started. Earlier this year, we started a Facebook group, Never Say Retired Forum, and we are happy to let you know that in this short period, we have 1,000+ members. We also have our presence on Twitter. You can join the mission by filling a simple Google form on the website or by joining our Facebook group. Today, we request you to leave your name and WhatsApp number to us directly on the chat box. We will keep you informed regularly on our activities and also on future webinars. All this will be exclusively addressing senior citizens. We have learned that the major issues affecting the elderly are management of their finances, their health issues, their social issues, their recognition, and finding their purpose in life. Considering this, we decided to have a series of webinars, and the first such webinar is being held today. This webinar is to provide some more knowledge on financial issues. The speaker today is CA Rishi Khator. Practicing for the last 28 years, Khator is a ICAI fellow member who has also done CPA from US and is a certified IFRS. He conducts right now workshops on personal finance and management skills for corporate, students, decision makers. Only last week, he was a speaker in an ICAI event on opportunities in financial systems, space, and financial literacy for CAs. He has also written a book on personal finance and contributes to various newsletters. Widely traveled in India and abroad, Khator is a regular participant in various shows as a panel speaker on taxation and budget reviews. Not coming in between for any longer, I request Rishi Khator to take over and enlighten the participants on personal finance for their well-being. Thank you. Yes, Rishi, you can take over.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maru. Wishing you all a very, very happy Friday evening. And tomorrow being the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, you will be very happy to spend your time with family and friends. Today, being the 1st July, is also a CA day, a doctor's day, and in Eastern India, we also celebrate Rath Yatra. So today, 1st July, we have health by way of doctors, CA by way of finance, and the blessings of God. I thank Mr. Maru for having invited me to share my thoughts on financial literacy. And I really appreciate the noble pursuit which is having in spreading awareness, knowledge, skills about matters relevant to senior citizens. My regards to all of you who are listening, being seniors to me, and my pranam to all of you from the bottom of my heart. Today's session is financial literacy for senior citizens, exclusively for you all. Now, this session is replete with a lot of real life stories from which we can derive a lot of understanding about the issues and the resolutions. I request the listeners to please keep them on mute so that, and when we are requesting them to speak, then they can unmute it. And as I was saying, it is replete with a lot of real life stories. We will also stop in between to take your queries on matters which we have discussed. So please approach this with an open mind, because you will yield yourself to a lot of possibilities, lot of insights. This session is also with a lot of one-liners, idioms, phrases, which will help us understand the matter, and बातों की मन समझ में आएगी हम लोगों को जब उस रियल स्टोरीज और वन लाइनर्स में हम उससे साक्षात करेंगे. तो हियर वी गो, वी स्टार्ट विद आवर फर्स्ट स्टोरी. आप सबों ने बोरिस बेकर का नाम सुना होगा. वो वर्ल्ड नंबर 1 एक समय थे, and he was the youngest player to win Wimbledon at the age of 70. He was among the top 10 highest earners in tennis. But in 2017, he became bankrupt, and he had to sell his trophies. He has unpaid loans, unpaid taxes. This was Boris Becker. Presently, he is in a very bad shape financially. We all know of Amitabh Bachchan. In 1999, he had a net worth of 60 crores. Presently, after recovering from bankruptcy, his net worth is around 3,000 crores. At 57, at the age of 57, his company, Amitabh Bachchan Corporation Limited, ran up into losses. There were a lot of legal cases, recovery notice. Then we have this real life story of Bhagwan Dada, the hero of Albela 1951 movie. At once upon a time, he had 25-room bungalow in Chuhu, 7 cars of different colors, for each one color for each day of a week. But after a string of flops, he went bankrupt. He ended up living in a chawl, and he died away, very impoverished, very poor. So, respected seniors, all these people were celebrities. They were very successful. They were very intelligent, but still they took financial missteps in their life, and this brought them down. Some of them rose from there, some of them could not. For example, Boris Baker and Bhagwan Dada could not. Amitabh Bachchan could. So financial literacy is a very relevant subject for all of us, irrespective of the age, irrespective of the richness which a person has, irrespective of his education, and irrespective of his celebrity status. Life expectancy of Indians, if we see around independence, it was 35 years. Slowly growing. In 2022, it is 70 years. Average person living in India has gone up to 70 years. Now, as the life expectancy increases, so does our concern for maintaining ourselves and maintaining ourselves financially, health-wise, living-wise also increases. This casts upon us more responsibilities to actually take care of ourselves financially, health-wise, and otherwise too, mentally too. Respected seniors, with age, you have become better in decision making. You are more experienced. You have become more wise, more matured, less impulsive, like wine and art, which becomes better and better with the passing of age. It is very well said that 40 is the old age of youth, 50 is the youth of old age, and 60 is the middle age of old age. So you all, we stand blessed by you all in terms of better decision making, experience, wisdom, and maturity. Which is better? You worried about money or money working for you? Obviously, money working for you is much better. And we will, this particular session will provide you clues as to how can you get money work for you instead of you worried about money. Respected seniors, if we want to make money work for us, we need to understand the nature of money. Money is a very powerful force. Financial literacy provides us with economic self-defense. If there is no defense, then we are filled with anxiety. Money will run our life. So financial literacy is an essential life skill and critical life skill. And it gives us clues, mantras, how to make money work for us. But what is financial literacy? It is the awareness, knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior. Knowledge, awareness, knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior to take informed financial decisions in your life. It promotes financial well-being. And how do we have this, what do we have this in knowledge and skill? We will get to unravel this in the session. Do you know, economists have said that today, if the entire finance, entire wealth, entire money of the world is equally divided among all the people of the world so that they become economically same, within 5 years, rich will again become rich, poor will again become poor. What is the problem? Money is not the problem. Problem is the ability and capability to take care of money and to make money work for us. This is what financial literacy is. What are the money concerns a senior citizen would have? But before that, let me share with you, education is the best provision for old age. This was said by Aristotle. He was a Roman philosopher 2,300 years ago. 2,300 years ago, he said education is the best provision for old age. For any senior citizen, these are the money concerns that he or she may have. How much his or her savings will last? What are the investment options available? Can I work again, or can I work with my as I age? Whom to trust in the financial matters? Whom and how much should I leave behind? Yesterday only I was speaking to a person who was totally involved in art of living, and she was saying that I don't want to leave anything for my family members. I just want to leave. I want to leave my wealth to the foundation. So whom to leave, how much to live? These are the money concerns of any senior citizen. Cost of health exigencies. Should there be a health issue, what will be the cost? How much will be the cost? And will the cost burst the budget of the senior citizen? Taxation, death and taxes never go away. So tax is always there. How do I manage it? Do I need to compromise on my lifestyle, the living standard that I'm used to before getting senior, do I need to compromise on that? Do I need to change my housing needs as my children may be residing outside in a different city? Do I need to have a different housing need, a lesser, smaller house? Financial abuse, this has become very rampant on senior citizens. How do I take care of it? And are there any government benefits out of it? So these are the concerns which any senior citizen has, and we are going to address these concerns and give and provide with the mantras to manage our finance well, so that our motto, which is financially strong all life. This session will empower you with the tools and confidence to take sound financial decisions for yourselves and your family, so that you are financially strong all life long. Now, when I say financially strong, what does it mean? It means that you have no constraints except the one which you put on yourself. You have a freedom of choice, and you can freely pursue whatever you want. Your hobbies, be it painting, be it gardening, whatever, be it playing cricket or whatever, and or spending time. So you have freedom of whatever you want to pursue. And when I say financially strong all lifelong, so what does all lifelong mean? All lifelong means consistently throughout your life you are strong financially. It is not just being lucky once, and whether the returns from your investment actually financing your needs and wants. Friends, respected seniors, this is what our motto is: financially strong all life long. And I sincerely hope and believe that while going through this session, you will be getting those clues how to satisfy this motto. My request is, please have an open mind so that you are able to grasp as much as you can. Respected seniors, our life is standing on a tripod of past, present, future. We learn from past and we create future, and we be in present. Past is a hindsight from where we travel and get an insight, and then this insight help us develop foresight for tomorrow. So our past, present, future, we be in present, learn from past, and help create future. Now, how to become, one of the questions in the flyer was how to become more secured financially. Any of you are having queries, please note it down. We will halt after some time. We will attend to the queries and then move ahead. So how to become more secured financially? Respected seniors, we can become if we know how to begin, how to manage money, how to make money grow, how to keep loans under check, how to have risk protection against theft, identity theft, and life, and also how to make succession planning. These are coming, I will be discussing, I will be going through practical demonstrations on each of these 6 mantras, so that all of us are empowered to take one's own informed financial decision. While as we go, it is said, well said, that Rosalind Yallo, who is a Nobel Prize winner, she says, as long as you are learning, you are not old. So age is just a number. As long as we are learning, we are not old, we are still young. When it comes to, again, financial goals and plan, where this is where it begins. So what are these financial goals? For a senior citizen's life milestones, I would say health management, how much cost, how much money should I keep aside for health, or maybe for whether I'm covered medically through an insurance till my old age. How much should I set aside? How much should I save for my living arrangements, lifestyle management, my hobbies, elderly care, and travel, etc. So these are the goals, which financial goals, which each of this, which with each of the senior citizens you must have, so that you are able to manage these concerns of health, living, lifestyle, hobbies, travel, elderly care. Now, when I say SMART goals, each letter of this word SMART has a meaning. It is specific. It is S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A attainable, R realistic, T time bound. So if we are able to frame smart financial goals, we can build greater financial security for ourselves. It is also important to have goals, because as Seneca, a Roman philosopher, he said that if one doesn't know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. अगर हमको मालूम ही नहीं है हमको कहाँ जाना है तो कोई भी रास्ता नहीं है. So unless we have smart goals, we are directionless and we have more anxiety. Have you prepared the summary of bank accounts, investments, insurance policies, loans to family and friends, safety deposit, DigiLockers, which you have, financial advisors, login ID, password for online. Respected seniors, you must prepare a list of all these, what I have on the screen, and keep it aside, share it with your spouse, share it with your son, daughter, whomever you are comfortable with, share it with your lawyer if you are comfortable, or whatever. But you must have this list prepared, which comprises of bank accounts, investments, insurance policies, login ID, password of your bank accounts, sorry, financial advisors, etc., loans that you may have given to family and friends. It is very well said. Most people don't plan to fail, they simply fail to plan. So be not the person who fails to plan, be the person who plans well ahead. And these are excuse me, these are the pointers on which you require proper planning. So at this stage, may I request Mr. Maru, if you have received any queries, I will be happy to handle.
I think we will ask the participants to raise their hands, and then we can move ahead. Would like to ask any question to the speaker, please?
I think we should ask questions at the end,
Okay.
not
No.
while he's speaking.
In the, I'll just excuse me. If we ask in the end, we will forget something in between also, whatever is told, because we are not jotting down anything. So now my one small query is there that the gentleman has told, Mr. Khator, we should keep the summary of our all financial transactions or investments or whatever there, and login and passwords for online transactions. But this login and passwords are there frequently changed. At times we may forget also that what was to be prepared or kept somewhere else like that.
So this is the precise reason why you should keep a record, and whenever you are changing it, just update it. The reason why you forget it, because you are forgetting it, also this is the reason why you should note it down. And further, should something happen to someone, it is important that this list is available to near and dear ones for taking appropriate action thereafter.
Means whenever we change the password, our password is has to be simultaneously noted down in the book where we are keeping the record.
Yes, very much,
That's
very
right.
much.
Thank you.
Rishi ji,
We can move ahead. If anyone else has any query, fine. Otherwise, if anyone wants to raise queries at the end, that is fine. Please keep a note. I am available at any point of time.
Ajay Jain wants to ask a question.
thank you,
Yeah.
Rishi ji. Rishi ji, can you share a format of in which we should keep our records for our family in case something happens to them? what are the important information like for a bank account, your customer ID number, your net banking ID, password. So for each and every kind of financial records, what kind of
Record.
information, if there is any particular format that you can share?
A very good question, Ajay. I will share it with Mr. Maru. And towards the end of it, as you are also sharing your WhatsApp number or email ID or this, Mr. Maru will be sharing with with you specifically this format. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Uh, So let us move ahead, requesting all to keep themselves on mute so that we can go without any disturbance. Okay, so we have, do you know that 60% of the billionaires use budgeting? So why do you think we need budgeting? We need budgeting to understand where from the money is coming, where to the money is going. What are our fixed and variable expenses? What are those expenses which very much unsettles our budget, and whether our income is greater than expense? So I have with me a simple format on the budget, which I'll be sharing. It's just a template that we have devised. You can have your own template. It lists down what is my budgeted income from interest, from dividend, from other sources. What are my expenses? What is the budget? What is the actual? Home expenses, transport expenses, health expenses, education, charity, which I may be giving, subscriptions, daily living expense, and entertainment expenses also. These are the entertainment, mind you, is a big budget buster because I may be going out frequently. If I'm going out, then it robs us of a lot of money. And finally, what is the difference between budget and actual? I would particularly like you to concentrate on this particular cell which I am saying, which is my actual monthly expense, 86,810. From
Just a second.
here, I derive, yeah, from here I derive a very important concept of emergency fund or contingency fund, which I will come to you again after a few slides. So remember, 60% of the billionaires use budgeting. So if I'm suggesting that you should use budgeting, you would be following actually the millionaires and billionaires who do that similarly. This is just a template that I've shared. You can have your own template as per your customized requirement. When we go to savings, you actually, what are the budget busters? Budget busters means which unsettles your budget. You may be having a budgeting, but then something unsettles. So it is very well said, your money may be victim of your own habits. Remember, we know from Shastra and all that our thoughts determine our destiny, because thoughts lead to words, words lead to action, action leads to habit, habit leads to character, and character to destiny. So from thought to destiny. Similarly, our money also become victim of our own habits. So if we and these are the money busters which like frequently dining out, gifts to family and friends, getting scam means getting a financial fraud is one of the one of a very big budget busters. Uncovered health exigency, unforeseen health cost is a money buster, and credit card balances. So we have to be careful. If there is something which we cannot avoid, then we have to plan. As I said, we have to plan for the future to help create future. We have to take proper risk cover to handle it, and sometimes we need ourselves to restrain we need to restrain ourselves when it comes to other matters like frequently dining out and others. Mike Tyson, we all have heard of him. He was the world heavyweight. This is again a real life story which I would like to share. All of this have financial lessons for us. So he was world heavyweight boxing champion at the age of 20. His lifetime earnings were around 5,000 crore. However, he filed for bankruptcy in 2003 with huge debts, taxes due, divorce lawyers, and an ex-wife. So what do we learn from here? Even if a person is very rich, he still has to manage his finances. He still has to, Mr. Mike Tyson used to have very lavish lifestyle. So he used to have tigers as pets. Imagine the type of expenses he used to bear. So even if you are very rich, you have to manage your expenses. You have to cut your coat according to cloth. उतनी पैर पसारिए जितनी चादर होए वैसे ही हम लोगों को करना होगा even no matter how rich we are. You know, people who buy unnecessary things often end up selling necessary things. So we saw Boris Baker but to sell his trophies also to but still he's in very bad shape even today. We saw Albela Bhagwan Dada, he had to sell his 25-room bungalow, 7 cars of different colors, and he had to move to Chaul. So people who buy unnecessary things often end up selling necessary things. A.K. Hanger, again a real life story. Around for 40 years, he worked in 225 films of Sholay film. He was Sholay fame, Bawarchi, Avatar, so many good films he acted. And by 2007, he found it difficult to get any roles because of his old age. 2011, he couldn't even pay his medical bills. And 2012, at the age of 98, he died in extreme poverty. What do we understand from here? We know the life expectancy is rising. We have seen in the time of independence 35 years, now it is 70 years, and going forward it will be still more with the advancement of medical technology and living standard. So we must have to prepare ourselves for living longer, and for that keep our savings and investment plan on track so that we are sustained, we can sustain ourselves for longer life. Savings, it requires no brain power, but willpower. So only willpower is required for savings. By the age of 60, it is a survey has shown that 25% people die, 70% retire, and 60% have critical illness. How much to save? What is the emergency fund? And one of the saving also is that never be shy of getting discounts or asking for discounts. There are many for in healthcare, pharmacy, and even some stores offer discount for seniors. There are many discount schemes available, so never be shy of asking for discounts, because a sum total of many discounts add to your saving. Thing here in number 3, which I have noted, is emergency fund. What is this emergency or contingency fund? It is a fund which is a pool of money which you have kept. Should there be any emergency with you, your spouse, or anyone in your family? How much of that should be there? I would recommend, we have all seen 2 years, 2.5 years of COVID. So I would always recommend that you keep 1 year of actual monthly living expenses by way of emergency fund. So 12 months of actual living expenses should be by way of emergency fund. Now, this can be kept in liquid funds, or it can be kept in fixed deposits, or any place where it has a certain, but it is not volatile. The value of which is not volatile. Does not fluctuate much, and you can withdraw it in short notice. So this is what an emergency fund. All of us must be aware of it and must strive to keep it about 12 months of our actual living monthly expenses. There is we know of monster in a horror movie, but there is also a monster in a financial plan, in our scheme of things, in our planning of financial things. And what is that? What is that monster? Monster is the inflation. Respected seniors, today the retail inflation is running around 6.95%. Wholesale index, WPI, which we call at wholesale price index inflation, it is upwards of 14%. So many of the bank fixed deposits, which about 2 months back or 1 month back was earning around 5 to 6%, which was giving us actually a negative return. So be aware of this inflation, which is actually a monster in your scheme of financial matters. Now, in order to drive home this point, I have got this wonderful tool to understand this. So let us see what this financial friend tool is saying. Now, suppose my present monthly expenses. Yeah, please.
We cannot see the Excel file.
You cannot see the, okay, just hold on. Is it very small or you cannot actually see it?
No, we can see the slide, but not the Excel file.
Okay, so this is something which I can't help it because this Excel file is interlinked to the presentation. But anyway, I can speak from this Excel file just for you. Like suppose my monthly expense is 50,000, and after 5 years, what would be my monthly expense? Assuming an inflation of 7%, my monthly expense will be 70,000. So this particular inflation factor very much should be considered when we are making our savings plan and our investment plan. All of us know this Vinod Khanna's son, Akshay Khanna, actor of Hangama and Dil Chahta Hai and all these films. In 2013, he gave away rupees 50 lakh to someone who promised him to double his investment in 1 year. So someone promised that I will double 50 lakh to 1 crore. You give me that 50 lakhs. And he gave away. And seniors, you know what happened to him. He ultimately lost this money. Similarly, this lady Rimi Sen, why I'm giving this example because anyone can immediately connect to these celebrities, and these celebrities are very well connected and intelligent, and of course a lot of resources they have, but they still fell prey to financial frauds. So this lady Rimi Sen was cheated of 4.14 crores by a businessman who took the money, promising her a return of 30% interest. Now, what do we understand from these two real life stories is that we should not chase unrealistic return. Ponzi schemes and unrealistic return are sure to fall upon us and rob us of our hard-earned money and our very sacred savings. This particular slide shows that how there is a very old saying, do not put all your eggs in one basket. It means that your investment, you should not put in one asset class. From this slide, we understand in the last 1 year, as on 7th June 2022, the best return on my investment was from fixed deposit. In last 3 years, the best return on my investment was from gold. In last 5 years, again from gold. And in last 10 years, the best return from my investments in different asset class was from equity. So different asset classes give us different returns. So we must not put all our eggs in one basket. We should distribute it wisely among different asset classes. How can we distribute? How do we go about? What are these asset classes? Let us understand this. So here we have investment. How do we go about with the investment? Remember, for all senior citizens, if you see point number 2, for all senior citizens, the primary concern of return on investment is there should be a capital protection. There should be a steady growth of income. and there should be a regular income that you are able to get money, maybe monthly, maybe quarterly, half yearly, as the way you would like to have. Now, let us understand what are the asset classes that we have. When we speak of asset classes, can you see this? Can you see this slide of different asset classes? Okay, I assume that all of you can see it. Pardon?
No,
Can you see
we're
this?
not being able to.
You,
No.
you're not able to see it. Okay, forget it. So different asset classes are actually low return, low risk assets. For example, fixed deposit, floating rate funds, PPF, and KVP, NSC, and all these. There are medium return, low risk. For example, gold bonds. There is medium return, medium risk. For example, say residential plots, debt mutual fund. All these are equity or hybrid mutual fund. These are medium return, medium risk, and high risk. For example, direct investment in equities, paintings, antiques, etc. Growth, and there should be a regular income. So once you have understood this requirement, allocate funds to different asset classes, select specific products. Suppose if it's a mutual fund, which particular mutual fund? Ask your financial advisor. Go with this. If you have a medium risk, medium risk and medium return expectation, accordingly you select. And every 6 months, review your investment portfolio. I'm delighted to give certain investment possibilities specifically for senior citizens. One is the senior citizen savings scheme, which gives around 7.4% per annum of return. Here you can ask for quarterly interest payments. Maximum amount one can do whether singly or jointly with spouse is 15 lakh. Maximum tenure of this deposit, which can fetch you 7.4%, is 5 years, extendable to 3 years. And so you can have for 8 years at a rate of 7.4% per annum, where interest is received on quarterly basis. Then there is PMVBY, Pradhan Mantri Vyay Vandana Yojana. Here you can receive interest monthly, quarterly, half yearly, annually, the way you want. It is also for exclusively for senior citizens, and 15 lakh is the maximum amount you can spend, you can invest. Maximum tenure is 10 years, and in all these cases, early withdrawal subject to penalty. There is another which you all must be aware: senior citizen fixed deposit, where the interest varies from bank to bank, and it also fetches you an exemption under Section 80C of the Income Tax Act. Post Office monthly income scheme, here you can have an interest of 6.6%, regular monthly income by way of interest, and maximum amount jointly is of 9 lakhs, maximum tenure is 5 lakhs. So these are the schemes, and others suggested, which is not basically for senior citizen, but I would suggest that are tax-free bonds, which is also available online. And time to time, these institutions issue IRFC, NHAI, HUDCO. These are all AAA rated bonds from government or government affiliated organizations, and interest from which is completely tax-free. So when I say maturity of 3.5 to 9 years, these are all available online with different maturities. There are also passive debt funds, 7.1 to 7.6%. So from real life stories, we understood that we should not believe in chasing unrealistic return. All these percentages of return which I am citing look very modest, but this is what the reality is. Then there is also a suggestion, you can go for sovereign gold bonds, where not only you get the increase, as we said in last 3 years and last 5 years, gold was the best performing capital asset. So by investing in gold bonds, you can not only have a capital gain increase by way of
सुनना 5 से 6 कर रहे तो सुनिए साला
hello.
दिन
So you can not only have average price of gold, the gold price increases, along with this, the value of your bond increases. Also, you get 2.5% interest on half yearly basis. And if you, at the time of maturity, if you redeem the bond, not redeem, if you get the money, then there is no capital gain. But before maturity and after 5 years, if you ask for redemption because you may require money, then there's a capital gain which is subject to indexation. After this investment thing, we will come back to queries from any of you. Reverse mortgage, it is a very good financial product specifically for senior citizens. This is designed for senior citizens who have self-owned singly or with spouse self-occupied home. Self-owned, self-occupied. So here, if you are a minimum age of 60 years and spouse of 55 years, one can avail this reverse mortgage for a tenure of 15 to 20 years. So starting age is 60, but suppose you want to avail it at 70 years, it is fine. So how does this work? You will get a certain sum of money by way of monthly payout during the lifetime. You need not repay the loan during lifetime. Suppose you have started it at the age of 65 and you have taken it for 15 years. So now you are 80. Now, and you expect more life expectancy, then you need not pay the loan. However, monthly payout will also stop after 15 years, which depending on what contract you have made with the bank. So the tenure is 15 to 20 years, and one need not pay during lifetime. At the once the it becomes payable when the last surviving borrower, like if the loan is this reverse mortgage is taken along with the spouse, the last surviving borrower sells or opts to move out, then only the repayment becomes payable. This is a very fantastic product, not so popular presently in India, very popular in West, and it can be considered in your financial plan. Can I, after this, we will move to queries. Can I still have pension plan? This was one of the questions which was raised, which was there in the flyer. Yes, you can have national, you can participate in national pension scheme, any non-residents or resident or a person who not having Indian passport, but who is of Indian origin, OCI, can also open national pension scheme. This can be opened up to 70 years and you can continue it up to 75 years. Earlier it was up to 60 years, the government of India raised it to 65, now it is up to 70 years. On maturity, and you can continue up to 75 years. On maturity, 60% of whatever you have paid during the tenure of the scheme, you will get it tax-free, and 40% will come by way of annuity during your lifetime. Now, there is a tax benefit available at the time of investment, at the time of interest, as well as at the time of withdrawal of on maturity. And under this national pension scheme, you can invest in 4 classes. E stands for equity, maximum 50%. So you can invest here. Then C is corporate bonds. G is government securities. A is alternate investment funds, AIF, where you can invest maximum up to 5%. So respected seniors, this is a very good option. One can try. And let me tell you, the returns on this is also very good, much more than 7% and 7.4%, which you are otherwise getting in the previous financial products. So at this stage, I would like to take queries. If any of you have queries on these savings and investment, which is actually making your money grow. Yes, I am all eyes, ears for the queries. You can
Just,
unmute yourself and
Can I just intervene? Charuji has given two messages in the chat box. One is that she wants that recording should be shared. Charuji, yes, we are recording it and we will share it with all. Secondly, she asked for that someone on something on the will formation should be done. I think this has to be done in a separate session. We can, as very rightly pointed out, we will have a exclusive session on how to make wills and how does it affect a senior citizen. We will surely do that. Meanwhile, I will once again request you that all of you must give your name and WhatsApp number in the chat box so that we can communicate with you longer. At least that provision is there here. And some people who are on the Facebook, they can also put in the message box there so that we can communicate with you. Thank you. Yes, Khator, Mr. Khator, you can proceed.
thank you. Charuji, what you have spoken about succession planning, will, trust, etc. We will be touching upon this and towards the later part of this session, because any financial Aksharta session is incomplete without succession, without speaking of wills. We will touch important it is for all of us. So let us continue. And as Mr. Maru has said, that there will be.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
Just my one query regarding NPS. Your NPS, you are told tax benefit available up to rupees 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs means from my income into get 2 lakhs or how?
Yes, yes, it is available from income under section 80C and 80CCD. 1.5 लाख रुपया 80C में होगा और 50,000 रुपया 80CCD में होगा. बट अगर आपने 80C में ऑलरेडी कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट कर लिए हैं, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल LIC, NSC एक्सेट्रा, तब वो 1.5 लाख से उतना तक कट जाए.
हाँ, तो मतलब ये एक्चुअली 50,000 ही है पेंशन स्कीम में ना, 50,000 ओनली, एनपीएस 50,000.
हाँ, अगर मान लीजिए हमने LIC नहीं किया है और NPS 2 लाख किया है, तो 1.5 लाख हमको 80C में मिल जाएगा और 50,000 हमको 80CCD में मिल जाएगा.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so as Mr. Maru has said, we'll the specialized person on will and trust will separately make this will conduct the webinar. However, here we will touch upon this and drive the importance of this.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, you told us that one of the savings is, I mean, we can put in FD, but is FD better or RBI bonds are better, which are given 11%, right? So would that be better?
Of course, it is better. Now, the bonds have a certain maturity period, okay? But FD is something which you can encash anytime. So it depends. As I said, if you want by way of emergency fund, you should keep an FD. But by way of more investment other than emergency fund, you can consider other options, including bonds.
Thank you.
Welcome. So let us move to the next. This Vijay Mallya, king of good times, we used to call him. Promoter of Kingfisher Airlines, 11,500 crore his net worth was. In 2016, he had to flee India when 17 public sector banks filed a case in debt recovery tribunal. Presently, he is a fugitive. So, no matter how rich one person is, one should not be taking undue loans to finance any extra budget projects. And as we have understood in other real life story also, utni pav pasari hai jitni chadar hoye. Business may fall, We have all seen in COVID so many disruptions taking place in our life. Businesses which were flourishing before that had to close after that. I am told in Himachal Pradesh, some few thousand hotels are cannot pay the bank loan, and they are on the verge of being sold out under various schemes of the bank. So beware of the loans. Loan taking is also important, but how much loan to take, that has to be understood well by all of you. Otherwise, we fall into a debt trap and we may land up in deep trouble. So the surest way to establish your credit is to work yourself into the position of not needing it. So it is not good to have credit when is living beyond means just on credit, or when one is actually diverting funds from other important areas to repayment of credit. Life insurance. This American journalist has said that only when we are no longer afraid do we begin to live. We live like fish in water, like bird in air. So how can we be risk-free? How can we, our senior citizens also eligible for taking life insurance? Yes, you can. Limited options are there though. Term insurance is something we can take up to 65 years, but these are the life insurance policies that you can take. Even entry age is 79, which is LIC New Jivan Shanti. LIC Jivan Akshaya 7. Here the entry age is up to 85. So these are single premium policies. You can contact your insurance advisor for giving more enlightenment on this. In the Jivan Akshaya, your annuity, that is your monthly income, which is like a pension only, will start immediately from the next month only. And in Jivan Shanti, it has to be deferred by a minimum of 1 year. And there are several options available in either of these LIC products, which you can go through with your insurance advisor and opt for it. Medical insurance, is it available for senior citizens? Yes. Entry age of many of the senior citizen medical policies is 60 years and above, which you can renew lifelong. Pre-existing illness are also covered. However, there will be a waiting period depending on the policies from 1 to 4 years. So if a person has a pre-existing illness, it is always advisable to disclose that whatever pre-existing illness is. And if a person has, then one has to wait for 1 to 4 years depending on the policy. And after that, even any illness, any problem arising out of that critical illness, pre-existing illness, will be covered under this medical insurance. For senior citizens, medical insurance, if you take a new one, the sum assured may be limited, but still it is available. Financial abuse, financial fraud. Many of the senior citizens are innovatively being defrauded because of advent of technology, because of new ways of fraudulent means. On 16th April, online fraudster duped, these are all real life examples. The retired senior citizen aged 63 years of 5.9 lakh on the pretext of updating his KYC. Again, this Namita Rao, 75 years in Bandra, 13th February 22, she was robbed because someone very soft-spoken called her and said her KYC is blocked and she needs to pass on click on a link to unlock it, and accordingly she lost a lot of money out of that. So beware of any, because senior citizens are late adapters of technology, and whereas technical advancements have given a lot of boons in our life, made our life easy, it has also brought a lot of problems, a lot of distress in our specifically senior citizens' life. Now, frequently it is found that senior citizens are approached by unsuspecting people and driven into a lot of investment products, which is either complex or it is unrealistic return. So where financial products are becoming complex, similarly, their accessibility is becoming easy. So it is on one hand complex, it is easy to access. And because it is complex, it is difficult to understand. So here, these are the indications of financial abuse and how to avoid. Unusual activity in bank or ATM withdrawal by an old person. This is an indication of financial abuse. New joint account, you never had joint account, but somebody, a new joint account is opened, or promised returns too good to be true. How to avoid it? Whenever someone is coming up with any financial proposal, ask questions, check out the answers. Do not be in a hurry. There should not be any FOMO, fear of missing out. There is always time to invest. Know the investment professional, regularly invest, and do not be afraid to complain. If you have encountered with any of the issues as mentioned in these slides, do not be afraid to complain. And these are the new ways of fraudulent ways where anyone, for that matter, not only just senior citizen, but in this session, I would like to draw your attention on this. KYC related, insurance related frauds are there. Phishing fraud, like by way of email or SMS. Yeah, your electricity connection will get disconnected unless you immediately speak in this number, something like that. Or a link is given, your credit card is blocked, you unblock, click the link. Or you have got a refund in income tax, you click the link to refund. All these are phishing, and when we say phishing, it means that someone giving you a call and saying that they are speaking from bank and they have to pass on certain OTP or something, and then you will be able to process the transaction. Beware of this. There is another thing which is public charging port are used for stealing data from your mobile or your laptop. So when suppose you are traveling in the airport, in the stations, or in the trains, also beware of using public charging. It is possible that some malware gets infected, your phone or laptop gets infected, and there could be a steal. Your data can be stolen, confidential data can be stolen.
May I interrupt? May I interrupt, please?
Yeah, please.
We are 5 minutes past 6. I think we must close by 6:15 latest. And once again, request all that you must share your phone, WhatsApp number so that we can contact you later about all the other information. Plus, whatever we will be able to share from this presentation also, we will do that. Yes, Mr. Khator.
Yeah, thank you. I won't be taking much time, and then actually this subject, this session is so vast and so many things. So probably we will have to, if any of you want any particular topic to be discussed within this, you may always mail to Mr. Maru, and probably we can take that up in another webinar. So these are the safety tips. Bank or mobile service provider will never ask for any OTP or PIN or password. So if anyone says that he or she is from bank or mobile, do not share. Limit the number of apps installed in the phone. Beware of fake impersonation of a family or a relative, say a Facebook profile claiming to be a relative. Beware of that. To receive payment, you need not enter PIN, scan, or QR code. We always understand that to receive any payment, you did not enter. So if anyone asking that you've got a IT refund and you enter the PIN or a QR code, do not do that. These are the safety tips. Do you know what is the national number for reporting cybercrime? 1930 is the national number. Please keep note of it. It can, God forbid you require it, but you please keep note of it. Michael Jackson, he had a trust but he never funded the trust. So this led to a long and costly battle in California probate court over the control of his estate. Sri Satya Sai Baba Puttaparthi, he had left behind 40,000 crore of wealth, but of empire rather, with no clear succession plan. So whether it is a politician, whether it is an artist, whether it is a religious person, or whether it is a businessman, all of you need a succession plan. Dhirubhai Ambani, who created equity culture in India, he also could not do his succession planning. By the way, Mukesh Ambani, as we are hearing from the newspaper reports, has already done his succession planning among his two children. So these were very intelligent people, but they still erred. They could not go that far as to do the succession planning, which is very important, whether it's a social, whether it's a politician, a businessman, a family man, or a religious man, or an artist. Everybody needs such a succession planning. And why this succession planning? Because you would want your wealth to be distributed in a seamless, smooth way, and in a way in which you want. And it also ensures safeguard of the near and dear ones. It provides financial security to near and dear ones. These can be done by way of will or trust. So, whether it is a will or a trust, it depends on answers to these questions, like whether your spouse can handle financial decisions, whether the children can handle large amount of money. If they cannot, you should form a trust. Whether your spouse and children will be burdened with administrative matter and financial decision making. If yes, go for a trust. Did I create a nest egg for my family? That is a corpus for my family. Go for trust. If any of the questions are answers, if all of the answers are in negative, go for them. I am towards the last of this respected seniors. This is a particular slide, simple diagram, which is the clue to a financial freedom. Not all of us will be able to achieve it, but this is an ideal situation where all the income which you have, which you earn, and which you still earn from your active service or your passive income, it goes towards meeting the interest on the assets that you have created, say shares, say real estate, say investment portfolio. The interest or the income from that investments are able to meet all your expenses, and the balance goes back to the creation of the asset. If you are able to achieve this financial status, technically we call it financial freedom. Not all of us would like to, but it is a good idea to keep this as a goal for all of us, where the return on investment is only meeting our expenses, and our active income is all going towards the creation of the investments. These are my parting thoughts. Why should you take the hassle of all these, what I have just said, because you love yourself and you love your family, and that is why you need to plan your finances and be financially secured and be financially strong all life long. Keep an open mind, have a window into the thought process. If you want something, you must be knowing by now, but because if you want something, give it out, because you will get it back plentiful. So if you want, you know yourself and understand your risk aptitude, whether it should be bond, whether it should be shares, whether it should be collectible. It all depends on how well have you planned, and accordingly you have to cover your risk. Build up a solid base of contingency fund. I repeat, COVID has also taught us that emergency can arise anytime. So contingency fund, risk cover by way of life insurance, by way of, as I said, all seniors are still eligible for life insurance. Cover your risk with life, medical, general insurance. Make list of things to do every day, whatever you would like to do. Keep a list of it. and your financial literacy. This session actually empowers you with whatever our motto was, financially strong all life long. For resolving any query, for getting anything out of this presentation, you may please email in this ID or WhatsApp in this ID. Mr. Malu will take care of it. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for giving your time. And I hope I'm able to empower you on the subjects which I have just deliberated upon. Thank you. Mr. Manu, you can take it up from here.
Thank you so much. It was an excellent presentation as far as I'm concerned. I hope our participants have also liked it, which we will come to know more when they send us their emails or messages on the WhatsApp number. But it was really nice. And still, if someone wants 1 or 2 questions maximum, I hope Mr. Khator will be able to
Yes.
accommodate them. Otherwise, it will be goodbye for today. And let me assure you from Never Say Retired team that we will continue with such webinars, which would be beneficial to the senior citizens in particular. And even if you have any ideas that we should take up webinars on a particular subject, do let us know. We will try to find a speaker who is an expert and do the webinar as per your needs also. There are other issues also on our chart on what is our vision. And so we'll like that you keep us informed of your developments, and then we'll keep you informed of our developments. Join our Facebook group where we have posts every day. From there, you will know all the development. The Facebook group is called Never Say Retired Forum. And the website is neversayretired.in. That's it for the day. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Khator. Thank you, all the
Thank you.
participants.
Thank you so
Thank
much. It was very nice presentation.
Thank you.